Good morning. My gym is closed today, so what I did was I went for a run in the streets of the city, had a quick little wash down, put on some fresh clothes, and I thought today would be a perfect day to do a yoga routine right here in my apartment, my tiny little apartment, just to show everyone you really don't need a gym, you don't need a studio, you don't need anything to get started. So today we're going to do some beginner yoga. I'm going to start standing with our feet together, reach down, try to touch our feet. Key here with all of our stretching is to breathe, is to be patient, let your body warm up. If you can only get to your knees, if you can only get to your shins, that's fine. One thing I like to do is let my head just drop, grab the opposite elbows, really feel that extra burn in the hamstrings. Eventually you'll be able to get down to your feet, be able to touch the floor. Slowly come up. Whenever you're touching your toes early, you want to make sure that you don't get lightheaded. Grab our right foot, stretching out our quad. Why don't I get a little closer to the camera so you can just see me a little better while I'm on my feet. So we're starting here with the quad. And we're going to do our normal movement, moving the knee up, grab with the opposite hand, look behind your back. And I hope this encourages people that maybe have a tighter schedule, tighter budget, can't get to a gym for whatever reason. You can do this right in your living room. Keep your balance and extend into Warrior 3. Ooh, I kept it. Stay focused. And there it is. Balance is one of the hardest things. Not one of the hardest things. It's one of the most sneaky things people underestimate that's going to completely improve every part of your life if you just practice it a little bit every day in your yoga stretch routine. So now we're doing the opposite side. Now for beginners, if you can't turn like this with a leg up in the air, that's okay. You can always have both feet down and just twist. And that goes back to how I'm very adamant on twists. It really helps stretch out the back, really helps warm up the body. Yesterday, the video I put up of twists saying that it burns belly fat, just to be clear, I wasn't trying to say you can target specific fat zones and just eliminate them. No, of course, it's the aggregate of diet, all kinds of exercise, including cardio, yoga, lifting. But if you're doing all those things, that stretch is great for your stomach. But no one exercise is going to do the whole thing for you. You got to do everything. You got to mix it up. You got to work on your diet. So now we've got our feet apart. We're straight down again. We should really feel this in our hamstrings. We should really be warming them up at this point. We're going to plant one hand, start with our left. You get your palm down, great. Opposite hand straight up in the air. And the other side. Again, this is for beginners. This is for all levels. If you have your feet apart, just reaching the best you can. If you can't do the full twist, even if you just start to turn your head a little with your hands down, work your way up bit by bit. Now, rather than coming right up, let's lean to one side, stretch out the groin, and turn the foot there. Foot started flat, and I turn it. I'm going to go to the other side. Foot's flat, and then we turn it. Come up. Let me adjust this just a little bit. Start to walk our hands out. We'll start by getting straight with just the plank. Take our right knee, to our right elbow, put it right up in the air, and then step between our hands. Left hand's down, right hand's up in the air. Now there's hardly any weight on my left hand. All the weight is really focused on my groins and activating my legs right now. Now, rather than just falling out of this pose in yoga and stretching, it's equally important how you exit or transition out of a pose. So what I like to do here is exhale, reach forward, get an extra stretch on the back, come back to that original position. Vinyasana, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And we do the other side. Step right through, plant a foot. Now, another great version of this is if you were to step back and you put one knee down, one knee in the air, take your elbow and put it over the knee. So for beginners, a lot less balance required. Still going to be challenging, but you should have an easier time keeping the balance and getting a really nice back stretch here. Really recommend this for people that haven't done a ton of yoga yet. Now let's just switch our legs. And we're looking up the other way. Now before we get on the ground, we're going to do a couple more up on our feet. Start with a basic tree pose with our right. So we're getting our right foot just above our left knee, and we're just holding. We're breathing. We're conscientious of our presence, where we are, feeling the balance, feeling control of your body. Doing these yoga routines are going to make the weightlifting, the running, functional strength, injury prevention, everything else much easier. Nice long tree pose on the right, and then we'll just grab our right knee, pull it right up. Still balancing on that left leg. Let it down. And again, for beginners, tree pose, if you can't get your foot up high, meaning up above your knee, and you start lower, you start all the way down at your calf, that's fine. The biggest thing here is the balance. So keeping that up, keeping your breath, keeping your form. We're going to pull it right up again. The other balance stretch I absolutely love is taking one foot, putting it over the other knee. So here we've got our right foot over our left knee, and then we're squatting straight down. So we're doing a one-legged squat with this leg getting a great stretch in the butt. It almost looks like I'm sitting on the couch right now. This is like an air pigeon pose in my mind. This is going to really open up the hip flexors. Really good for functional strength, really good for injury prevention. What's up, Veronica? What's up, Ethan? My people. Let me go a little lower here so you can see the angle even better. So we're taking one foot, putting it over the other knee, and then squatting straight down. Whoop. That's why these balance exercises are so good. You lose your balance. You have to keep practicing, to keep resetting, refocusing. A lot of it is mental. Okay. Now let's come down to the ground. Get some ground game in. Start with our basic butterfly. It is nice to do yoga without shoes if possible, if you have a decent surface. I have this nice little carpet that gives me enough depth. But it's good for balance. It's good for feeling like you really control your body without having that extra layer in between your feet and the ground. I just like that feeling. It makes the yoga feel a little more intense in a way. I don't know. All right, touching toes. If you can only get your knees, if you only get your shins, don't be discouraged. You have to start somewhere. Eventually, you want to be able to really get up there, dominate it, and breathe at the stretch point with the legs flat. Then let's go to one foot. Notice how my right hand, same leg, is on the outside of the foot, right here, whereas the left hand's on the top. This is going to help work your hamstring and a little bit on the outside of your leg. Other side. Even though this is less intense than what you might be used to watching me do, this is incredibly effective. And it is important to have days where we're not just lifting heavy weights or even weights at all, but instead just doing a really nice body check maintenance stretch warm up like this. We're now doing our pretzel. So our right foot's over our left knee, our left elbow is over our right knee, and we're looking over our right shoulder. I know that's a lot of directions, so you can just look at my body. Great stretch for the lower back. You guys see me do this on a daily basis. Come down on our back. Get into a ball. Nice and tight. Sitting up with your shoulders in your neck. And come down flat. Right leg up in the air. Bent. Sorry, left leg. Let that left knee down. Keep your arms spread. Exhale. It's going to help open up that back again. And just like the way we exercise from the core out, it's the same way you should think about stretching, warming up, really your priorities in exercise. You've got to start with the core. That's why you see we're really stretching out the abdomen here, opposed to, doing a million arm stretches or leg stretches. We're working those in, but the core is clearly the priority. Okay, coming back up. Now going to have our legs crossed, one arm behind our back, other one's leaning over to his side. Other side. Spin over to all fours. We're going to do 5 cat-cows. This routine is going to be very helpful. Take it slowly. Maybe you can't do every pose. Maybe you have to keep a hand on something for balance, whatever the case may be. This will significantly improve any back stiffness, soreness that you're dealing with on a regular basis. Probably the most common, quote, injury or nagging issue I hear about from people, especially my age. Donkey kicks, activating the glutes. Into our fire hydrants. Other side, 10. And for beginners, I think the key thing here is trying to make sure that your leg is going up and not out to the side when you're doing the donkey kicks. And then with the fire hydrants, that motion is just going to feel pretty strange because you're not used to pushing those legs outward. And you'll see me doing it right here. This is going to feel a little weird at first because you're not a dog and you don't piss on fire hydrants. But that's good. Just take it slowly. Don't force it up explosively. Go nice and slow and feel it. Maybe you can only do 5. That's okay. You build up from there. Build up from there. It's always the idea. Little child's pose. Now we're going to try to do a side plank. So for beginners, you can totally keep your leg on the ground and start practicing your side planks like this until you build up the strength. It's another example of not needing to just say, you know what, I can't do that. No, start with the practice. We're just going to hold our side plank. Again, a lot of core work. And then we're going to do 10 elbow to knees. A lot of people get obsessed with weightlifting before they ever get control of their own body weight. And I think things like this yoga routine, this side plank, they're all examples of the things that were really prerequisites to becoming a gym rat. You need to first build out a base, and then once you do, you need to maintain it. Okay. Did an opposite order on this side where we first got in our knee to elbows. Okay. Now we're in downward facing dog. If you look at my feet, you'll see left leg is bent slightly when the right leg has the heel all the way to the ground, and then switch back and forth. This is called pedaling. This is a great way to stretch out your calves, warm up your calves, and prevent things like Achilles injuries to the best of your ability by keeping those muscles engaged, active, ready to go. A lot of times people get non-contact injuries because they make a sudden movement and their body's just really stiff. It's not used to it. So all of a sudden, boom, goes the dynamite. Sometimes it's just bad luck. But let's control what we can control. So now we're upward facing dog. For beginners, feel free to plant your left knee opposed to just your foot. And we're going to go for 10 knee to elbows. For people a little more advanced, keep your knee up in the air, plant your foot, 10 knee to elbows. So again, knee down if you're a beginner, knee up if you feel like you can handle it. Vinyasana, nice way to keep the upper body engaged, keep it warm, keep it stretched, a little chest pump while still staying focused in our yoga routine. Opposite side. Now we come down to a regular plank. Notice the body is very straight. We're not really slouching. We're not really arching. We're keeping it rock solid, like an arrow, like a plank. Let's put our left hand and right leg up in the air. So we're balancing on 2 limbs instead of 4. And switch it up. Planks can feel boring. They're a great barometer for your strength, endurance, and probably most of all, mental fortitude. Okay. Getting close now. Do a little ab work. So after holding in the plank position for a long time, I always like to come back and make this quicker and quicker as a flow. To my butterfly, I touch my toes, and my pretzels. So my back, my traps, my shoulders, all get a little stretch after I've had them holding tight, holding weight for a while. From there, we're going to keep our feet bent. We're going to keep our back, lower back here flat, and we're going to do crunches. Feet go out as the head goes back, knees come in as the head crunches in. I think the best way to do this early on is go for 5, go for 10, and then start to go for 10 once you really start to feel a burn. Typically, I do these 100 at a time during my longer workouts, but I'm not going to do 100 right now because that would take up too much time. But these are the basic crunches that I like. Follow those up with leg lifts. Now, this is another classic where it's perfect for beginners because all you have to do is lift your leg. Lift your leg. Try to keep them straight. Slight bend in the knees is fine. Try not to touch the ground. As you get stronger, you start working toward pushing your hips and your butt up in the ground into a full-on reverse crunch. And this is going to really work the lower abdomen. Again, you're not able to just pick a spot and burn the fat, but I don't think many things are going to work your lower abdomen as well as this motion right here. And again, starting with your legs low, holding on to something over your head are all fine to get started. This is still a very hard exercise that's going to really yield results, abdominal results, assuming diet, cardio, and those other factors. Now we're going to go elbow to opposite knee. Sometimes you'll see people in the gym doing it like this. No, slow it down. Control the body. Feel the burn. Feel the flex. Make sure that opposite leg is getting fully extended. Make sure every rep is of perfect form. That's how you maximize the result. Okay, back up. Okay, now we're going to do some air squats. 23 minutes, so we're going to wrap this up. I don't want the yoga to go too long. Even if we're not lifting weights, getting that endorphin rush from squatting. You can see butt goes straight out, coming up to my tippy toes at the top point. Hands come out to the side like an Olympian hitting a ski jump. Keeps your balance, keeps your focus. And if you do these nice and slowly, and you really focus on your form, it's going to burn early. You might only be able to do 2 or 3. But air squats, definitely an exercise beginners can start chipping away at. Also, if you don't have the flexibility to get all the way down here, it's okay if you're only getting here to start, Work with what you can work with and prioritize the form, which means even if you can't get as low as you want, Make sure however low you get, you're doing it the right way and you're not letting your knees go forward and you're not bending your back forward opposed to arching it. It's the little things that add up. Now, another one I love for both balance and the hip flexors is standing straight up and just kicking out to a side. So we'll start with the right. And the left. Coming back down into our squat again. Left elbow over right knee, looking up to the sky. Back to the middle, right elbow over left knee, looking up to the sky. Now that we're fully warmed, let's stagger our legs, hands like this, lean forward, touch your front toe, keeping both legs straight, right hands up in the air, and we're doing a triangle. You're gonna really feel the extension here in our groin, and you should feel a great stretch in your back, particularly now as we rotate into a reverse triangle. Putting our right hand on the ground, twisting, so our left hand goes up in the sky. Good for balance, good for your legs, good for your abdomen. Reach forward. Let's step forward. Go the other way. Right leg is forward. Both legs are straight. Reaching forward. Left hand's up in the air. And then reverse. Okay, the last thing we'll do on our feet are some twists. Today we're going to do them with no weight. But again, feet together, working this side to side. Get your cardio going a little. It's going to get your traps engaged, shoulders, biceps. And most of all, the obliques and the abs. When you don't have weights, you can move faster, obviously, with less risk of a strain. I know Cons commented yesterday that he was doing some twists and felt a little dizzy. So early on, take it nice and slowly. So for beginners, I would actually have my hands out wide for balance. I'd be going like this side to side. Really feeling the twist, really feeling the stretch. Don't rush it. And then over time, as you get better and better at it, you feel stronger and stronger, and you want a little bit more of a challenge, you start to speed it up. And as you speed it up, you really want to bring your arms in to protect your shoulders, and then you can rip. And that's what I'm doing here. Just rip side to side, almost like you're shadow boxing. All right, we're going to close it up with a little bit of a pump from yoga, stretching. So our upper body feels good going into the day. We're going to kick our feet up into a downward facing dog, stretch it out, come down, vinyasa, upward facing dog. Now, the only difference is you don't see this a lot, I don't think, in the gym, but we're going to do up dog push-ups. Meaning, from my knees and down, I'm off the ground here, it's my knees. I'm flat from my knees and shins. What this does is it really puts all the weight on my chest and my triceps. So I can get a nice pump here without ever touching a weight after getting in a really nice 20-minute plus yoga session. 30-minute. Pose 20, child's pose. Come up, bend one leg in front of you, leg flat behind you for pigeon's pose. Again, this is a full yoga routine, 0 equipment. I'm doing it on my carpet in my tiny little apartment, very little room. So I hope everyone out there feels encouraged. If you feel a little insecure about getting back into the gym, being around a bunch of people that are looking like Tony Robbins, start at home. Start with some of these basic workouts at home. They're right there to do. It's not that they're easy to do, but they're incredibly accessible if you want it. Last one, do seated twists. I like these because your knees and your hips kind of get eliminated from movement altogether, and you're even more isolated. So you can see how sharp that movement is right now. I have just one palm resting on top of the other, so my arms are connected, and I can feel the motion right through my body, like a lightning bolt. Great exercise for getting your heart rate up, getting your endorphins released, feeling really tired one morning and you don't have access to a gym. Do that yoga routine I just showed you, and then jump right into these crazy ass twists. And I promise you, you're going to feel a ton of energy just start pulsating through your body. Let's do 20 more. 20, 19. 6, 5, 2. All right, that's it. Great yoga session this morning, 33 minutes, done in the comfort of my own apartment. I hope everybody sees you do not need a lot to get going. Even if you're just a beginner, every single pose I did has a beginner level variation. If you're ever not sure, you can always look it up. You can always wait until the next time. You can always comment. Please subscribe on YouTube. Ask me questions in the comments. Always happy to answer them. But I hope you guys got a great yoga session out of this. I'm feeling fantastic. Mets won last night. And the good news is the live stream you really care about, the Mets live stream, is coming tonight from Fleming Enterprises. And for everyone who sends me thoughts and prayers, I appreciate it. But save it for people with hope. Don't waste them on me. Have a great day. Love you guys. And try yoga. You can do it in your apartment. You can do it in your apartment.